Namaskar and welcome to Indian Diplomacy, show on India's national television channel Doordarshan about Indian foreign policy, India's international relations and special friendships that India has nurtured with key countries in its neighborhood and beyond. Viewers, this is a special episode where we are taking a close look at the bonds between India and one of its important neighbors in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives. And to discuss Maldives-India friendship, I have with me a very special group of 11 content creators who are from the Maldives and who are visiting India under the aegis of India's Ministry of External Affairs. Friends, welcome to Indian Diplomacy, welcome to India. So you're all esteemed guests from our neighboring country, which we love very much. And I'm sure the love is reciprocal. So let me start with something, which goes back to history and the past connection between our countries. Even before there were nation states called India or Maldives, our linkages go back thousands of years. And, it's said that around 500 BC, more than 2,500 years ago, there were waves of immigration from southern India and from what is today Sri Lanka. And people settled in the Maldives. And you also have, of course, seafarers and visitors from the Arab world who also came and settled in the Maldives. So it's a mix of these two, unique cultures. So the Indian ancestry is very much there, and we look alike. We probably think alike in many ways. So I'd like to, if any one of you would like to come in first and talk about this, the national identity of Maldives and so closely linked to India and the historical part of it. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for inviting us to this program. I'm Mohammed Hamdoun from the Maldives. I'm a writer and a journalist. I think, as you said, both countries share a bond from ages, and even long ago, people from Maldives traveled to India, and Indians traveled to Maldives, and many Maldivians actually started seafaring business through India. So we have many common things in both countries. Maldives brought spices and textile from India and many things. And I want to mention that one of the first literatures for the books in Maldives that was also printed in India. We don't have had that means before, so we have many connections. And I want to mention that India, the first country Maldives had the diplomatic relations after gaining independence. So it's long ago, and also in contemporary times also we have connected in many ways.
Thank you, Mohammed Hamdoun, our friend from the Maldives. This special group of content creators from the Maldives has also been visiting historical sites and monuments in India. So they've been to Hyderabad, they're going to see monuments in Delhi and then go to Agra. So in a way, this structured program is also meant to remind our visitors about these linkages that we are talking about, the historical linkages. So you have seen some of the grand historical sites and our monuments, and normally we have a large flow of tourists from India to the Maldives, but we would like more Maldivians to come and see these kind of places also. So what are your impressions of seeing all these places, and what is it reminding you about the common spiritual, religious and cultural linkages between our two societies? Would anyone want to come in, what you have seen so far in India and how that has impressed you?
Yeah, I am Sheila Najib from the Maldives. I have been working in film industry since 1999, and this is the first time that I got to visit India, very historical places. Especially that I got is like I went to Ramoji Film City. So when I see the place all around, and I feel that very proud. And I have seen so many places in Hyderabad as well. It was amazing, and I got so many experiences. It's very amazing and very good. And also, I would like to come with my colleagues as well. I hope after going Maldives, inshallah, I will come back. And actually, Maldivians usually come here to the treatments, medicines, and I think we it's important to come here, visit here, to see the historical places over here. I think it's very important to us to see these historical places. Thank you.
And you've been to the Charminar and you've seen the architecture and all this, right, in Hyderabad, I heard. So, and you're going to go to see the Taj Mahal. Are you excited about this? And it must be like a highlight for your for the India trip, right?
I'm very excited because I will wear my traditional dress over there in Agra, Taj Mahal. This is also my first visit to Agra. So I'm very excited to see Taj Mahal.
Your president visited recently, and he and the first lady also went to Agra, and there was a beautiful photograph of them, with the Taj Mahal in the background. So yeah, these are the things that link us, isn't it? At some deeper level, we are all, the past is such a overwhelming thing with the neighborhood. So thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Right, now we already spoke about tourism, and obviously the Maldives is easily one of the topmost destinations for our middle and upper class, tourists, our celebrities. They flock to your country, and the kind of reels, you're all content creators, and the kind of reels and shots that they post about the Maldives I think Maldives is world famous because of its, amazing beaches and oceans, and, it's a paradise. It's a tropical, island paradise. So we love that place. And I think there's no question that, especially after the pandemic, last 5 years, the way the Indians have poured in the tourists, has been tremendous. And your leaders have also acknowledged the fact that if almost 25% of your GDP is tourism, right? And the contribution of the Indian tourists has been, huge support for your economy and all that. So I'd like you to please talk about that aspect, because your society, I mean, people of Maldives, your hospitality industry especially, I know some of you are into these, study these things, your tourism, that sector, the role of the Indian tourists and the Indian tour operators. If you can, if anyone could like to come in and speak about what all has happened, in terms of infrastructure, and how Indian visitors are received in your country. That is always something that our viewers would like to know, because I'm sure that after watching this show, many more thousands, if not millions, will want to also go to the Maldives. Not just because of the natural scenery, because, of the beautiful people. So would anyone want to come in on the tourism aspect and Indian tourists there? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Mais. I'm a writer from Maldives. As you mentioned, India has been consistently in the top 10 tourist arrivals in the Maldives. And I think that's because, obviously, because of our beautiful beaches and our hospitality. We're famous for hospitality. But I think even though, as Gila mentioned, mostly Maldivians come to India for medical tourism, but I think there's so much Maldivians can come and experience in India as well. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for Indian tour operators to bring Maldivians to India for tourism as well. And in terms of investment in Maldives, I think for Indian companies, there are so many opportunities to invest in the Maldives tourism industry because it's consistently growing. And I think that would be one of the avenues where we can collaborate and grow in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my friend. So viewers, it's not only tourists. The point being made here is that Indian, tour operators and hospitality industry professionals and companies can also invest in the Maldives. For example, Taj, one of our big, groups from the Tata, conglomerate, they have a huge presence in the Maldives and so many others. Now, talking of the infrastructure, this is another area where, we have actually built very close relations. And I'd like you to come in because you are residents of the Maldives and you live there and you are observers and you generate online content on many things happening in your country. The Indian support and assistance for a lot of the infrastructure, big projects like the Greater Malay, connectivity and the ADU, and there are so many others, I mean, if the list goes on like dozens and dozens of, they have done huge infrastructure, but also small community impact projects and all these things, right, in the both in the capital and in the far-flung islands. Would someone like to come in and talk about that aspect, India's role as a, a development partner of your country? Yes, sir, please.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am Nail Hafiz. I'm a journalist and a presenter, TV presenter from Maldives. So as you mentioned, India has been one of our key partners in the infrastructure development of the country, as well as when we look into economic cooperation, also India has been a key partner. When we look into the figures, more than 500 million USD trade that has been invested in Maldives by India. And also Tilamale connectivity bridge, that is one of the major biggest project now that is happening in Maldives. And also when we look into Addo, major projects also happen in there. We have seen training facilities and these places also there. So, and also when we look back into the history also, we have seen that India has been one of the key partners who has always been there during the times of crisis. Whenever we need help, India has been the first country to respond. For example, during the water crisis as well, and also when we go further back, the 1988 November 3rd, also India has been one of the country
when there was an attempted coup.
When there was an attempted coup. Also tourism. So when we look into the cooperation of India has been one of the biggest supporter of the Maldives, as we are very close. We are neighboring countries. And also when we look back to the speeches by our government heads, we know that they have also been looking into this partnership in a very positive aspect. When India develops, Maldives also has to develop. That's the thinking of the people of the Maldives, people of the both countries as well. And also we are also very welcoming for the Indians to our country, and Indians are also very welcoming to us. So we feel that there's a mutual connection between both our countries, and then it is an unbreakable bond in terms of economic development, infrastructure as well. And also we see major projects like social housing in capital Male area as well. So these are the major projects that will impact the locals very much in a positive way. Not only the politicians, not only the government as a whole, but also the when we divide the classes, the poorest as well. So this will be impacting the economy, our economy in a positive way, and it will enhance our growth, in my opinion. So we have seen a good connection, we have seen a good relationship in terms of economic relations, infrastructure development, and aid as well. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. There's an interesting point he also made about Indians being welcome there. And friends, I want to also take up this point. It's not only our tourists, right? We also have, people from India, Indian citizens, about less than around 30,000 or so, who work in your country and who render services. Teachers, doctors, nurses, engineers, technicians. So they of course are very closely linked with the local society more than the tourists, because the tourists, they just go to the fancy resorts. But the actual society, those Indians, our diaspora, Indian diaspora, which is living and working in the Maldives, how well integrated are they with the local people, and what is the impression they give about India to local people when you interact with our diaspora in your country? Yes, sir, please.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Muhammad Imad. I'm from Maldives. I'm a sport fisherman there. About the poorest, the work permitters from India in our country, they are like our day-to-day life family members. We play together, we eat together, and we go fishing. We do everything that we do with our Maldivian fellows. We have 2 Maldivian Indians working in our workshop. My father has a workshop. They are like our family member. They eat with us in our table. They work with us, and also we play. There are doctors. They are very down to earth. Very, very down to earth. They go to play badminton with us. They are invited to go fishing, and we go for coffees like our fellow Maldivians. There's nothing changed. Our color is the same. Our thoughts are same. And also they make reels of Maldives and they promote Maldives.
Yeah.
So Indians are like a part of our life in Maldives. And the connection we have is, I think more Maldivians watch more Bollywood movies than our own movies.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Hindi.
Yeah.
That's how connected we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, much appreciate that. Actually, that is what makes our neighborhood first policy successful, because the people-to-people linkages are very strong. You know, it doesn't depend on who is in power or what government has come or what has changed. You know, ultimately, the love and the affection that the Indians there earn with the local people is what matters, and that's point well taken. Friends, you have also been visiting, apart from historical monuments here during this visit, organized by our Ministry of External Affairs. You're also seeing a very sleek and 21st century cutting edge side of India, right? Not just the historical one, right? You visited places where they're doing VFX and gaming and robotics and these sort of very advanced technological things, right? So there also we have a lot of cooperation between Maldives and India on these matters, on science and technology issues. So would you like to come in on your impressions of what you are seeing in India? Because maybe even 10 years back, this kind of thing was not there in India. You know, what we are seeing is a rapid digitalization and adoption of advanced high-tech, tools for the economy and generally in the society. So is there something you have seen that has inspired you or something that impressed you during this tour so far? And can you adopt some of those? Recently, our two governments have agreed to implement the RuPay, the digital payment system that is designed by Indian entrepreneurs in your country. And that's also good for our financial integration and for financial stability. So that's also a big fintech innovation, So this whole range of technology and science and business, this area, what are you seeing in India? What have you picked up so far in India? And what has impressed you? Would anyone like to come in? Yes, sir, please.
Oh, yeah, my name is Musa Shifaz. I'm a designer, animator. And as you mentioned, that I have visited Asia's largest entertainment summit. That I have seen so many new technologies. Actually, the technologies already exist, but I've seen it from India for the first time. And I have seen real-time rendering and so many like recent innovated cameras, and most importantly, I have met some of the animators from here, and I got a connection with them, and some of them gave their social media handles, so I followed them, and I believe that we can build a good relation with India regarding this, like animation, VFX, as well as technology. As also, I want to mention about Tea Hub, which we visited. It's a great place for innovators, as I think it's a great opportunity for the people who want to become like Mark Zuckerberg, for them to build their dream platform. I believe that Maldives should work together with India for this kind of opportunities for people like us. We need to explore our things. We need to invent our application as well. So I believe that Maldives and India could work something great together. And one more thing I want to highlight about the Ramoji Film City. Yeah, that was a great concept. I really liked it, and everything so far which I have visited, it's great. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So viewers, India's advanced technologies also have a huge impact on our neighboring countries. The visitors from Maldives are talking about how they are being exposed to latest trends in digital and tech areas because of India's advancements. And that's not a small achievement, because we are also a developing country, but we are an advanced developing country, and we can also share many of these know-how with our neighbors, and that's how they can also grow and become more innovative and more entrepreneurial. So these are great points. Friends, even in terms of education, we have a fairly large number of Maldivian students coming to study in India. Many of them get degrees in India. And we are also supporting some of your colleges and institutions there with higher education and also school level and all that. On this point, people don't talk about it much, but I think there is a difference we can make, through exchange. And if you have seen our teachers, in your schools, you know what I'm talking about. So how can we, use this educational linkage and make it, stronger? Would anyone want to come in? Have you seen this, and would anyone want to talk about this aspect, because this is also very close for the people-to-people linkages. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. My name is Aishit Fariha. I am a journalist. As you mentioned, Indian teachers play a crucial role in Maldivian educational sector, especially I think for secondary and higher secondary, where there are, let's say, 1/4 or more will be from India. So in addition to that, India provides educational and training opportunities to us as well. There are free scholarships provided by Indian, and as well as programs like iTech. That also helps us to build that people-to-people connection as well, and the cultural mutual relationship as well. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so education is another area, viewers, where Maldives and India, we are building, and ramping up the cooperation, and they are living witnesses to the benefits that these educational exchanges create. The Maldivians definitely appreciate what India is doing there. Okay, viewers, we are almost out of time, but let me bring in those who may have not yet spoken for a last word. Why India is special for Maldives, and what do you think you will carry back your memory from this trip? One thing that's, which has really stayed in your mind, and what will you tell people back home when you go back home about what you've seen about India, and how will that, impress their thinking about India? Your relatives, your friends, your followers on your social media handles, you're all content creators. I'm sure you've been taking lots of videos and photographs, so we would look forward to seeing how you present India when you go back. So last comments, last thoughts about why India is so dear to your hearts. We would like to hear that. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Nashama. I'm a writer from the Maldives. I would like to add something to the point of education before I get on with my comment. I think education is the driving force of a country. Only if you have educated people, you can have a good economy. And I think we have all Maldivians have grown up with Indian teachers. I think all of us can remember an Indian teacher in their life who has changed something. I think even for me, in my career as a journalist, it was an Indian teacher who got me interested in writing. So I think Indian teachers are very, very important in our country. And for me, what I would take back with me is that I think we haven't really made this comment yet, but I think India is a very artistic country. In your worship, in your, I think in your everyday life, I think it's the music, the films and everything. I think it's a very artistic country. And I think that's the comment that I will give to my friends back home.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, that's true. It's a very rich culture and a very ancient civilization, so it's got that rhythm in the society, right? And people love it. People who come to India become Indophiles. You know, their whole life they love the country. Any last comment on what anyone would like to come in who hasn't spoken yet on what you've seen in India, what you're going to carry back? What is the story you're going to tell about India? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Mahil. I'm also a journalist from the Maldives. Let me just start by saying that India and Maldives goes way back. We're like the same people. Our language is so similar. Most of us can understand Hindi. We have similar vocabulary. We have similar food. It's just like coming home. I don't think any Maldivian would feel homesick living in India because it's a different environment, but the people, the culture, and everything is so similar. And we've seen so much here, so much creativity, so much innovation, so much culture and tradition. Everything is so rich. And what we would take back, I think a lot of memories, a lot of videos, a lot of pictures. What would we say to our friends when we go back? I don't think we have to say anything because they'll see the pictures and videos that we'll post. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, Maldivians don't have to say much about India. What they carry in their hearts and what they present, these content creators will of course be watched by thousands of their followers. And I'm sure that you will have more Indian, social media followers going forward after seeing all your content that you're generating. We have almost 500 million social media users in this country, you know. So it's just massive and it's exploding. So I'm sure that this is also a good hunting ground for you to increase your followership and to, to increase your influence in the digital space. Viewers, we are out of time, but let me sum up this discussion with this very special group of 11 content creators from the Maldives. Our links go back a long time. We have a strong ethnic, spiritual, religious and historical links, but even the contemporary times we are investing in the relationship. The Ministry of External Affairs has brought this special group on this familiarization visit to enhance the linkages and in order to have a two-way exchange of viewpoints about what's happening in our countries and how we can learn from each other and how we can cooperate with each other. So this bilateral relationship with the Maldives is a very crucial one. And it is, I would say, like the centerpiece of our neighborhood first policy, especially in the Indian Ocean region, along with Sri Lanka, which is also linked to the Maldives. These three, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, we form a kind of a triangle that is mutually beneficial to all three sides. And we really look forward to hosting more Maldivians here and to, of course, send many more of our tourists and teachers and so many others to the Maldives in the years to come. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here and thank you for being our unofficial ambassadors of the Maldives-India friendship. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.